MegaPodTastic. Good morning, MegaPodlings. Krazy Joe coming to you from the old AMC Theater on a Thursday night. I am here for the Thursday night preview of Men in Black 4, aka Men in Black International, the fourth film in the franchise, the first one not to star Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. I'm very excited. The trailers have been great. I like the first three movies quite a bit. My favorite of the first three is probably the second. I think the original is probably my least favorite of the three. They're all good though. I've been very excited to see this. Trailers are good. The casting is good. Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, terrific casting. We know they have great chemistry from the Thor movies. So I am ready. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't make the 21 Jump Street crossover they were talking about a few years back. That was a strange idea, but one that could have been a lot of fun. I wanted to see them try that out, but this looks like it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to see it. So let's go check it out. It's a bit of a rainy night tonight. And the poster is up. There it is, Men in Black International. I don't know. You think Will Smith will make a cameo? It's not impossible. That would be a fun surprise. I'm hoping. We'll see. Theater 7. Here we go. Let's talk about Men in Black International. I was very disappointed. Very, very, very disappointed. It's gotten terrible reviews. It's the most poorly reviewed film in the Men in Black franchise. So that begs the question, is it really that bad? Does it deserve that low of a score? Probably. It's not awful. There's worse movies out there. It's not a horrible movie, but its greatest sin is that it's boring. It's a very dull movie. It doesn't add anything new to the Men in Black mythos. It's probably the least funny of the three in terms of humor. It's got the least wit of the four Men in Black movies. It's just kind of paint by numbers. It's the first film in the franchise that's not directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, and that's a shame because we know Barry Sonnenfeld does a good job with Men in Black movies. He made 3 of them, and they were all good. So maybe it needs Barry Sonnenfeld. I don't know. Though F. Gary Gray's a good director. He just doesn't deliver the goods. Just doesn't deliver. Now, what's good about it? There are funny parts. There are definitely moments that work. The chemistry between Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson is terrific, and that should be a surprise to no one. We've seen these two before on screen in Thor Ragnarok and in Avengers Endgame. They've got great on-screen chemistry. Casting them, if you couldn't get Will Smith back, that was just dynamite casting. And it should have worked. And it could have worked. None of the problems in this movie fall on the shoulders of Tessa Thompson or Chris Hemsworth. They're great. They're superstars. They really, they hold the movie together. The movie's better than it should be because of them. I would very much like to see a Men in Black 5 where we get to see these two on screen again and basically give them a do-over, because I know they have a great Men in Black movie in them. This just isn't it. The problem is this movie's not performing at the box office, so I don't think we're going to get another movie with them. I see one of two things happening with the Men in Black franchise. It's either going to lie dormant for about 20 years and then get rebooted altogether, or they're going to back up the money truck to Will Smith and get Will Smith to come back for another one. Those are the two venues I think open to the Men in Black series at this moment. Let it lie dormant for a long time and then do a total reboot, or bring back Will Smith and make it like your Jason Bourne. Remember they did the Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner, and it didn't really go over so well, so they backed up the money truck to Matt Damon, and they're like, I want to do a fifth one, and then he came back, he's like, all right, I'll do the fifth one, and then everyone liked the fifth one. So I think that's what we're looking at here. It's either just going to lie dormant, or they're going to beg, plead, and bribe with big dollar signs to Will Smith. That's it. It's a shame though, because these two characters and these two actors have what it takes. Men in Black 5 could really work. But even if it did work, would anyone go see it? Because one problem now is, even when a movie's good, you can make a good movie, you can make a great movie, but it doesn't mean people are actually going to go pay to see it if the previous film wasn't. Because people tend to go, oh, I didn't like the last one, I'm not going to go see this one. That happens. So that's where you are. You know, like a good example, Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond was a great movie. It was terrific. It was great. But so many people disliked Star Trek Into Darkness, the previous film, that they just didn't bother showing up for Beyond, which wasn't fair, because Beyond was written by different writers and it was directed by a different director. So it's like audiences held the sins of the previous filmmaker against the current filmmaker. I don't think that's fair, but it happens. Fair or not, it happens. So even if you made Men in Black 5, brought back Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, and just knocked it out of the park, it doesn't mean the audience is going to show up. So I kind of feel like this franchise is dead. There's nowhere to go except, time. You can't reboot it tomorrow. You can't reboot it a year from now. You got to wait a good stretch of time. Time and a reboot, or Will Smith. I see that as this franchise's only lifeline. Which is a shame. You hate to see a once great franchise just fizzle out. And that's what's happening here with Men in Black. But then again, you never know. You never know, because may I remind you that the Karate Kid movies with Ralph Macchio, people liked them to varying degrees. Karate Kid 3 may have been the least popular, but people like the ones with Ralph Macchio, generally speaking. Then in 1994, they put out the one with Hilary Swank. Nobody liked that. Nobody went to see it. And it was not a success. And nobody remembers that as one of the good ones, really. So it looks like, well, there you go. Karate Kid, it's dead. It's finished. It's buried. But who could have predicted Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai TV series, can't come out of nowhere all these years later, and people love Cobra Kai. So the original Karate Kid saga with Ralph Macchio is back, and it's popular again, and people like it. So you can't really count any franchise out. You never know what's going to happen. So Men in Black could bounce back in a big way, but I just don't see it happening. It looks to me like this is the swan song of the original Men in Black franchise. I say original because a reboot, I could see them doing a reboot that's completely different, with a new cast, new continuity, new everything someday. But of the original continuity, I think this is going to be the final chapter, and it's a once great franchise that just petered out. Sort of like Dark Phoenix. But Dark Phoenix is a much better movie. Despite the bad reviews, Dark Phoenix was actually fun. I like Dark Phoenix. It didn't deserve the negative reviews it got. This one kind of deserves the negative reviews. Dark Phoenix didn't. But the difference is, Dark Phoenix is the X-Men, and Marvel just got the X-Men back. So we know the X-Men have a cinematic future. We don't know anything for Men in Black. This could be it. Maybe it should be it. But I just hate seeing things go out on a down note. There's a part of me, don't get me wrong, I don't want to see this happen. I don't really want to see this happen. But there's a part of me that wishes Steven Spielberg would come back and make a Jaws 5. Just so Jaws the Revenge isn't the final stamp on the Jaws franchise. Because something as great as Jaws shouldn't end on Jaws the Revenge. That's just terrible. Like, you kind of wish... Couldn't we just get, like, one more really good one so that, like, the final taste is something good and not but I don't really want to see a Jaws 5. It's just one of those things I jokingly say. So, like, Jaws 4 shouldn't end there. And Men in Black shouldn't end here. This isn't the way we wanted that franchise to go out, but it is. So, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the future. But Men in Black 4, Men in Black International, it's mediocre. It's mediocre. That's the best you can say about it. It's a shame. It's disappointing. I was disappointed. As always, don't take my word for it. Make up your own mind. If you saw the trailers, if you really like Tessa Thompson, if you really like Chris Hemsworth, if you're dying to see this movie, your opinion could wildly differ from mine. So just, make your own mind up, and I hope you enjoy it more than I did if you're going to go see it. And keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.